Hey folks, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by tonight. I'm the Shasta One, and you know, sometimes I start out these streams with a particular phrase. When I'm not doing my usual hardcore Minecraft, I usually say something along the lines of, oh, I don't know, I got something a little different for you tonight. And I guess this qualifies. As you can tell by, this is clearly not Minecraft on your screen. This is actual physical box here on the desk in front of me. That's right, we got a 2-camera setup tonight. My webcam that is pointed at the desk is currently mounted on my microphone stand just outside of frame. It's a little jank. It might fall down. It might sound awful, but what the hell, man? I'm gonna give it a shot. Because after 10 months of waiting, finally, my Steam Deck is in, baby. I didn't realize how lucky I was when I decided to get the middle of the road 256 gigabyte Steam Deck model, because I had trouble paying for this thing. Not like, you know, getting the cash together. I had trouble actually like getting my $5 deposit in with Valve on July 16th of last year because I was a dumb. I could have loaded up my Steam wallet with just $5. $5 and I would have got it. But instead I tried to use PayPal. Womp womp. But as it turns out, by ordering the 256 gig model, my queue moved pretty fast. So, what is this thing dropped like the third week of February. It's now just about the third week of May, I think. So, not too shabby. It felt like an eternity, but it really wasn't that long of a wait. So basically, like, while this experience is fresh in my mind, like, I thought about doing this. I thought about opening the box on stream this afternoon. And the more I thought about it, I was like, no, I'm not going to do that because I just want to open this thing and play with it. No. That wasn't my rationale. No, I had something more than that. I thought, like, if I just unbox this live, then the opening 5 minutes would be like, so freaking excited, just like a puppy. And everything after that would be like, and we're downloading updates. And we're updating the BIOS. And we're downloading games. So I took about 3 hours. I put things through the paces. Also, I'm not connected. I'm not connected to the internet via an Ethernet cable because I was testing that out as well. I'm streaming over Wi-Fi. Hopefully that works out. Anyways, so I just thought, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play around with it for a few hours. Gonna test it docked on a USB dock. Like play it on my TV a little bit too. Play just on the couch wherever. Just kind of like get some general impressions of it. Little bit of you know, I wanted to give her a test drive before I went live with the stream. Because I was just so excited. This is the most excited I've been about a product in, like, I can't remember when. Like, this gave me something to look forward to over the course of the past 10 months. What's up, Micah? Wi-Fi gang. Yo. Dude, congrats on closing today. That's hype, man. Hopefully the hotel Wi-Fi is treating you well like it was me last week. So, what the plan is, I'm gonna like do a faux unboxing here. And I know that seems false, inauthentic, but what this does is it kind of just like re-guides my own brain through the experiences I had earlier today, just step by step. And basically just gives you guys kind of a look at the experience that I got. And then I don't know, I'll just like give you my first impressions and just like get my ugly hands all over this beautiful piece of clean hardware. So what do you say we go into it? So this is the box. I used to have a banana for scale here, then I ate it. So instead, yeah, how about, you know, Wolf brand chili for scale? This is a big box. Like, this is a bigger box than I expected. I don't know. It is, as you can see, just a little bit bigger than a standard can of 15-ounce Wolf brand chili. And this is like, look at this thing. Like, that is the size of my hand and forearm. And granted, I don't have very long arms, but like, this is big. Something I appreciated, and also didn't appreciate because, you know, I'm terrified of all these horror stories of people like getting their Steam Decks stolen and whatnot. But if you look, they got like their, you know, don't put this out in the, it's not waterproof, it's fragile, it's bad for magnets, but also it's bad for magnets. That's right, it destroys magnets. You got a companion cube this side up. Icon there. And of course, what's in the box? Yeah. If you know that's the Steam Deck logo, then I guess you know. That's cool. I think that's that might be an EU requirement there. I just did some training on that. Standard shipping. They do actually tell you what is in this. Like, there you go. Retail bundle. 256. Can you guys see that? 256 gigabyte Steam Deck NA/Japan. They're not subtle about it, but hey, it works. What's up, Log? So, that said, I think this thing did pretty well in shipping. Like, not actual shipping tape. It was just like normal glossy Scotch tape, which is a little sketch, but that's okay. It looks like outside of like a little corner wear right there, this thing did pretty well. So when you pop this dude open, this is actually the first thing you see. Like, hey, before you forget, first steps, I know you're excited. Plug this bad boy in, then hit that little power button right there, will ya? And then on the other side, this gives you... This isn't really helpful for me at all, because like I'm still figuring out like what's behind the Steam button and what's behind the ellipses button, the ... But it seemed like this side was all like downloads, your library, basically the different tabs that you already have on your desktop Steam. And this side is all just like Steam Deck specific like hardware configuration settings, like screen brightness, airplane mode, but also curiously like your friends list. I don't know. I think that they're still working on that maybe. So in this box, it's currently empty, but this was just your charger. It's a standard USB-C charger. I think the cable's about like 4 feet long, which is it's not bad. The cable the cable itself was like pretty heavy. It's like there's a whole lot of weight to the cable itself, which fair enough, you know, a lot of shielding maybe. Here's a little valve tag. I know that like a lot of people online right now are obsessing over getting this off without actually cutting it and just like getting an unmaimed valve tag, but I thought about that for approximately 2 seconds and then I just attacked it with some scissors. And then the dude itself got some nice rainbow effect going on the lettering there. Designed by Valve Corporation. Let's take a look at this case itself. I think we're done with you, FedEx Box. Thank you very much. What's up, Juggernaut? Dude, I think, is this the first time you joined a stream from the pharmacy dungeon? I hope it's going well for you, man. So here's the case itself. So if I got the 512 gigabyte version, then this logo right here would be just all I think this arc would be blue. Basically this logo would be in color, but since I got the middle of the road one, I got the old grayscale. And this is a pretty sweet case. One, I'm super pumped that Valve included a case in this, because the moment I actually hefted the Steam Deck in my hands, I was like, there's no way in this world that I am leaving my property with this thing without a case. Like, I couldn't even imagine throwing it. It doesn't seem particularly fragile, but I couldn't imagine just like throwing it in a backpack. So big ups for including the case. I think that also made just shipping the dang thing easier, because it, as you can see, it just arrives in the case. This is how it travels. Little details I like here. There's like a little TSA lock in between the zippers here, so you can like lock that up if you're going to the airport. And speaking of airports, I love this thing. It's got a little elastic band here. You just slide this over the handle of your luggage and just have it basically be visually a part of your bag. So it's not like an extra carry-on or something. And there's like a pocket here. There's an indentation. What's up, Power Player? Looks solid. I agree, man. There's a little pocket here, and I think this is where I'd put like the charger, the charging brick, and the cable. The cable's non-detachable, but that's okay. You know, beggars can't be choosers. I guess, can you see that? There's a little bit of, where's the camera at? There's just a little fuzz hanging off there. That's okay. Random Sweet, what's up, man? In part, this stream is for you. We're finally here. Windows next? I don't think so. I'm working with the 256 gigabyte version. And I'm actually, you showed up just in time. I'm about to open up this case. And there's, oh my God, it's so reflective. There's my chin. Oh God, it's got fingerprints on it already. I didn't think this lighting situation through. Case itself got like a nice soft fabric in there. There's not a lot of give to it. It's just like fake velvet type of a feel, I suppose. A nice little drawstring to tilt this bad boy up. Here's the thing, Juggernaut. I'm planning on taking the microfiber cloth out of my Ray-Bans sunglasses case and putting it in this case because I knew that would be bad, but man, those fingerprints are just like, oh, wiping them off already, bro. So this is it. Like, trying to center it with the camera here. It's what my first impression is that the weight distribution on it is really good. Like, it's heavier than a Switch. Like, it's got some heft to it. I'm just, is this scary? It's got some heft to it, but it's balanced. Like, it feels like, you know, I could just Thanos balance this thing on my finger, just right there in the middle. Thank you, Random Sweet. Dude, I need to hydrate. I just finished. I'm a little sweaty. I just finished a run, and I'm still sweaty after the shower. It's terrible. Yeah, I guess we do like a side-by-side of the Steam controller. So this, of course, was Valve circa 2015. This is kind of where it all began as far as the hardware market goes for them. And you can see just like side by side here, some clear like you know, family lineage. You still got the twin touchpads. You still got the ABXY. And then like the Steam button, I guess, moved down here, you could say, instead of being centered right there. There's just 2 paddle buttons on the back. Those are nice and clicky. And by comparison, the Steam Deck now has 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like just having a single joystick on this was a mistake in retrospect. Like, dual stick controllers are so integral for modern gaming that, like, I really feel like they could have switched it up a little bit and got a second joystick in there. Maybe they didn't do that so they could encourage more people to go with the touchpad. They have the same haptic feedback when you use the touchpad that was there on the Steam Deck, which is really satisfying. That's about the only positive thing I will say about the haptics, because they're hella loud, and for all the noise that they make, they're not just very, I don't know, effective. But man, when you're just moving around on the touchpad, like using it as a mouse, it feels so good. Like, I get it. I get it. I think that Valve said in interviews that the haptics were kind of an afterthought on this thing. Like, it doesn't even have a proper rumble. Like, there's no rumble motors in this like your usual controller. It's just like that haptic motor. And it's not a good substitute, man. It's not a good substitute for real motors. What's up, Quantagon? Yo, is that a Nintendo Switch? I was joking last night with my friends that I was going to put a Nintendo Switch Joy-Con skin on this thing. Is that a Stream Deck? Oh, man. R.I.P. Elgato. That's just going to get him right that. And I agree, Micah. They put too much faith in the touchpads. That's a good way to put it. But oh man, just the grips on this thing. Like, this thing, look at that. Look at that. Look at those fat grips, dude. That changes everything as far as the ergonomics of this thing goes. I think that, of course, there are going to be natural comparisons to the Switch, and everyone's made them already. I know. But like, when you're holding the Switch, it's just this flat board. And so you gotta like almost hold underneath it. At least I do for like extended periods of time. It's like you have to just catch a corner in the meat of your hand there and then just try to make it work. That's not comfortable. But like, dude, this makes all the difference right here. There's an indentation. You see that in this grip? Can you see it? There's just this nice little lip right here. I was talking to my buddy about this earlier today, where he was wondering if these buttons were like too far up. But like, look how natural that looks. That's just like that's the natural angle of my hand. Like that's just how this would work. That lighting's kind of overwhelming, huh? Oh, the difference the Steam Deck actually has games. The ergonomics are incredibly good. If I have any criticism of it, it would be that if you want to use this touchpad, like look at the angle of that thumb. Like my thumb is going straight down onto that touchpad. Like look at the angle on that. I could see like the bend of my thumb just getting irritated if I was relying too much on the right touchpad there. I suppose the same problem happens on the left as well. To be honest, I'm not sure why this left touchpad's even here, because like I don't even know why you would use it. Like the natural way to use the touchpad, I think, would just be to use the left joystick, kind of going back to the Steam controller. Use the left joystick to move around, and the right to look around. Like your traditional right joystick is decently replaced by the touchpad. I don't know about the left. The D-pad, I think that I don't know. I'm not much of like a fighting game guy. I know that the fighting game gurus are crazy about the quality of the Shot's Deception. Look at that. Look at that. I can't say too much about the D-pad. I can say that it's better than the Switch Pro Controller's D-pad. Like, I could play Tetris 99 on this D-pad, and there's no way I would accidentally like plunge down to the bottom of the level like I would with the Pro Controller. So that's nice. Outside that, I really don't have that much to say about it, because like I haven't used a D-pad proper since the Super Nintendo. I don't know. Not too much to say beyond that. I think as far as the controls go, I will say, compared to the Steam controller, if you look at the shoulder buttons on this bad boy, like L1 and R1 were these super fat, but like you can hear this. Like, can you hear that? Doesn't it just sound cheap? Like, they're super huge, super fat, and yet there's no give to them. It's just like a binary click, and it just feels like cheap plastic. And I'm also similarly kind of disappointed with the L1R1 on the Steam Deck as well. They're better, don't get me wrong. Like, the audio is so much better, and that's actually going to be playable, but like, I don't know, there's something missing to it. Maybe I just hate all L1 and R1s. I don't know. All right, Random Sweet, I'm glad you got to see a part of this, man. Enjoy that Knight Rider, and I'll catch you next time. And what's up, Rider Mind Drop Test? I know, yeah, let's do the what's the channel that just does all like the intense breakdowns and screen scratches? Terrifying. Praise your Steam and Mad Catz come in to make the Steam controller. That thing is trash. Trash is a little strong for me. Like, I really enjoy the ergonomics of it. Like, this feels really good. Like, I love the indentations of it. And just these fat grips. It's like this was made for my hands. And this is the only controller that I really felt comfortable doing the, the two-finger trigger grip, as opposed to just swapping back and forth with my indexes. Like, the ergonomics of it was great. But man, the dual touchpads is just a little much for me. I haven't even turned this thing on for you guys yet. You ready for that? As far as the ports go, power button right there. This is your global USB-C. I will note, since I brought up the two-finger trigger grip, says Proxy Log. Since I brought that up, I find that it's most natural to hold this thing just like that, with my middle finger just right underneath that lip, beneath L1, L2, R1, R2. if I try to do the 2-finger grip like this, I feel like all I'm using to hold onto the back is just my pinky and my ring finger. And that's just kind of terrifying, man. Like, that doesn't feel right to me. So I think that the only way to, for me at least, to comfortably do it is to just swap my index finger back and forth over those two buttons. And that's really all I gotta say about it. I haven't really cracked into games that use or take advantage of these buttons on the back. I have noticed the fan noise. It got super loud during updates, but not particularly during gameplay, so that's nice. When I first turned this thing on... Ooh. Look at that. Shasta on deck. Oh, you guys can't see it. You can't see my screen right now on my PC. But yeah, this thing immediately picked up, of course, on Steam on my PC, on my laptop, and my Steam Link hardware underneath my TV, so that was pretty cool. I haven't tried it with Bluetooth headphones yet. I tried it with wired headphones, and of course that worked as expected. I heard there was like some reports of people getting static in their headphone jacks, but that wasn't the case for me. And I found that the Wi-Fi download speeds were kind of slow for me. Maybe that was my own internet, but like I'm using that to stream right now, and I don't know, it's working out for me so far. But using a USB-C dock was so much fun, dude. Like, I just connected it to my TV via the dock. You can charge with it while it's connected. I went to desktop mode. Before I get into desktop mode, I guess I can, like, walk you through the UI, you know? You hit the Steam button on the left, pulls up this menu on the left, friends and chat, downloads, all that good stuff. A funny thing is that I keep defaulting, I keep switching the A and B in my mind. Like, I keep accidentally pushing B when I want to select things because I'm so used to the idea if I'm holding something like this, then I am holding a Nintendo product. And so I keep just accidentally backing out of crap, man. I just thought that was funny. And then on the on the right here, left. Look at that, just idling. 5.5 hours of battery life, not too shabby. They give you a nice little performance overlay here that you'll see in the top left if I toggle this. Once I'm in a game, that is. I guess I could actually like go into a game, I don't know. That just pulls up this program called Mango HUD. I haven't even, keep in mind, this is just first impressions. Like I haven't even cracked into the like the power management details of this thing. Play Rocket League. Who are you, Zimba? I mean, I kind of thought about it. Yeah, all I did was I installed Wolfenstein The New Order because I've been playing that on my PC this week. I installed Spyro because I feel like Spyro is just kind of the poster child of my Steam backlog, which is currently 463 games, most of which I have not played. I picked up Spyro back when it first dropped. Was that like 2019? And I basically never played it. After today's game session, I have an hour and a half on it total. I'm really excited about cracking into my backlog with this thing. What I'm really excited about is, like, I spend a lot of time on my PC if I'm just playing Minecraft or browsing the web or recording music. Like, a lot of my personal hobbies revolve around sitting down at a computer desk. And after 12 years of having a Steam library, like, I finally have the opportunity to take that overwhelming backlog wherever I want. I think that people who think that the Steam Deck is all about just like travel and, oh, you know, I'm not going to spend too much time in a hotel, and if I'm on vacation, why would I like be looking at the Steam Deck? For me, that almost misses the point. I think that its strongest use case, same as really the Nintendo Switch, just playing it around the house. Like sitting in a chair on my back porch, just watching the sunset. You know, getting a little sun on this pasty skin. And still playing video games. I think that's its biggest strength. I was thinking about this on my run today, where like I remember being, oh, I don't know, probably like 8 years old, 9 years old, something like that. And I got a Game Boy Pocket for Christmas, and it came with Star Wars, the Game Boy port of the NES game, and I quickly bought Donkey Kong Land 2 shortly after that with my own money. And that feeling of excitement, like seeing that Game Boy Pocket box come out of the wrapping paper, like that is exactly how I felt as a grown man opening this FedEx box today. Like, super cheesy. And I've watched a lot of videos of people's first impressions of this device, and something that I've always disliked about the majority of those videos is that everyone just gushes about it. And it's like, you are so biased. Like, there's not even an attempt at objectivity. You're a homer for this device. Like, why can't you just like take a step back and chill out? And now that it's here in front of me, like, I get it. I get it. I'm doing my best. And I think that I've done pretty well, if I do say so myself, of highlighting what I think are the drawbacks of the actual hardware. But like, it's awesome. This thing is so freaking cool. I think that would be just my review in short right there. Sparkle Bombs, what's up, man? I finally get to join you. Here in Steam Deck land. And thank you. I like to think I'm doing all right with it. Let me see. Something else I did with it docked was I went to desktop mode. Desktop mode is not exactly intuitive. I had to actually look up how to do it. You have to hold down the power button, switch to desktop here, and what that does is it brings up just the background KDE session. This is really convenient for me. Really? Steam is updating while I'm in desktop mode? Are you serious? But yeah, this is the same desktop that I use on my PC and have used for the past few years. So it's like totally intuitive for me. Like, this is just what I use on a daily basis, and it's really cool to see it on this portable device. I don't know. More portable than my laptop, which is running the same thing. Let's say that. Yeah, basically all I've done on this desktop mode, you see I installed EmuDeck, which is basically just a script that installs and configures basically every console's emulator known to man. I plan on fully ripping my existing physical video game library to play all of my legal games legally on my very legal Steam Deck. But it's super easy. Oh man, Sparkle Bomb, just go to emudeck.com, download the installer, and double click it. And that's literally all you have to do. Like, a big scary console window pops up and it looks like the Matrix. All these things are installing, and it just does it automagically, as they say. I haven't really cracked into it. Like, I haven't even ripped a single legal cartridge from my very, very large retro video game collection. It's EmuDeck, EmuDeck.com. I think that's what I used. And yeah, you can just, go on Firefox. I've already got that synced up to my desktop Firefox, so like all of my bookmarks and all of my favorites are there, all that good stuff. I haven't even begun to dug into the Discover page. Something that really amused me. This is also kind of pained. This desktop mode, this is pain to navigate without a keyboard and mouse. Just saying. Like, would recommend. I've got a Logitech K400 wireless mouse and touchpad combo, and that's pretty nice. Oh, it's right there. I love this. Dude, Space Cadet Pinball from Windows XP is in this Discover store. It's called a store, but like, I don't think there's even paid software in it. I think that this is all just free for you. Pretty awesome. But anyways, yeah, what else is in here? What have we got? QT Linguist? What games? Look at that. Aperture Desk Job. I suppose we can kind of play through that. So this lists all of your Steam games as well. That's interesting. But of course, like, EmuDeck automatically installed Dolphin. Duck Station, which I assume is PlayStation 1. Citra, 3DS. Oh, they tell you. PCSX2, PS2 emulator. PSP. Retro Arch, of course. Dude, PlayStation 3 games? That's ambitious. That is ambitious. And Zemu for the original Xbox console. And then we got a Switch emulator on here as well. I am definitely going to try. I'm not going to lie, man. I'm going to try some Breath of the Wild on here. I own that game. And I just kind of want that experience on a Steam Deck. Even though I could just play it on my Switch. Dude, like... I'm trying to think of like what I would use. This is really taking the place of my Switch. You know? Like, usually the Switch would be my mobile console. Like, my console on the go. Like, when I was going on trips, I would take the Switch just for like... I want to wind down at like just before bed. You know, I'll play for an hour and just pass out. But I think I'd do that with the Steam Deck. And also, like, with that USB-C dock, I would probably just like hook it up to the TV in my hotel room and use this as my personal PC on the go. It's like basically this one device kind of just replaces my laptop and my Switch just like that all at once. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Here we go. So you can see me navigating the touchscreen here. And then if you want to return to the gaming mode, just tap that. And you head back to it. Allegedly. That was kind of slow. Checking for available... Oh my god, it's updating mid-stream. Dude, allegedly Valve has been updating their beta channel of this operating system like 2 to 3 times a week. Like, they've been listening to feedback. It's not quite perfect yet. I think that it was imperfect out of the box back in February, and they've just been like chipping away ever since. Did you guys hear that? Got like a nice vibration there too. Mike has been pocketing Game Boy Micro and Pokemon Sapphire. Nice, dude. Like, I usually keep a Pokemon game on my phone that I ripped legally from my extensive retro video game collection. And I would probably still do that for games like Pokemon or maybe like trading card games, something that's turn-based, RPGs. But like, I'm getting my oil change this week, and I'm probably taking this to play in the lobby because like, it's awesome. I don't have my capture card set up for this thing, but I can at least like, let's try a little Spyro. This is cool. While it's launching, it says what the controls are for that game. There's a recommended control scheme for each game, so it's like set up for you on these verified games. That's pretty neat, man. Sparklebomb says, check out the D-Brand skins. They have nice sticker for the touchpads, and it makes them feel nicer. Really? I was kind of skeptical of like stickers on the touchpads, but they work pretty well, huh? Some of those D-Brand skins, they do look nice, man. There's one that's brushed aluminum. Makes it look like the DeLorean time machine from Back to the Future. I'm like, I could do that, bro. Get one of those multicolored, like, shiny hats. And those Nikes that lace themselves. Back to the 80s, baby. I literally just got started on this today. And I'm sure that the reflection of me in the background is just gonna drive you nuts. Dude, Proxy Log, I've already thought about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, bro. I gotta have them all. PS1 for Tony Hawk's 1 and 2, and then PS2 for Tony Hawk's 3, 4, and Underground. Oh my god, I would just play through all of them. So I played this, and I also played Wolfenstein. And you know, Wolfenstein's clearly the more graphically demanding of the two, but like this screen is pretty crisp, man. It's crisp and it's just pretty. It's also not as reflective as I thought. I haven't played this in direct sunlight yet. I think that's the real test. So mid-playing, you can just, the game's still going. It's unpaused. You can adjust the brightness here if you want to. Like, let's get that brightness way up. Just blind you all. I've heard, I can't verify this for myself. I know that this is probably a note of interest for Proxy Log, but I've heard that it just like it's nowhere near as good as the OLED Switch's screen. Like this is not an OLED screen. This is just your classic LCD. So Again, in direct sunlight, it's probably going to be a loser to the Switch, at least the newest model of the Switch. I feel like that's one of the things where Valve probably just had to cut corners on just to make this a financially feasible device because, dude, the base model of this thing, $399, like $400 US. So like, I get it. This is not competing with like the Aya Neo, like there are like boutique Windows-based handhelds similar to this. This is not the first of this form factor, but it's easily the first to like combine this much power for that low price point. And so there are like tiny corners cut here and there. There's definitely room. Oh, there's definitely room for like a Steam Deck Pro. Because I think that the 512 gig, the most expensive model, was far and away the most popular one. So people are just totally okay with paying these prices for basically just a handheld PC. I wasn't. That's why I got the 256. Well, you probably get it like, sometime next year, Proxy Log. So if that weight dissuades you at all, I'm just trying to be real with it, man. I could ramble about this thing for a while because I've been doing some reading. Sparklebomb's got the cheapest one. Dude, but you had to buy like an SD card, right? Because I installed Wolfenstein The New Order, which is a 2015 first-person shooter, and it's gorgeous. And that download was like 44 gigs, and I was like, dude, between that and maybe like 10 gigs for the Steam OS, like, that's dead. You got 1 terabyte for $40? Oh my god, that's clutch. That is so clutch, dude. Just... That's awesome. I gotta find me one of those deals. I haven't even picked up a micro SD for this yet, although that is definitely going to be a necessary thing, especially once I start ripping my legally obtained ROMs from my extensive retro video game library. Yeah, dude, keep me posted, please. Because that is a necessity. The micro SD slot is just right here. It's starting to get a little hot. Like, the vents are right here, but it can... There you go. Can you hear that jet engine taking off? It's really not that loud, at least to my ears, but I can't trust my ears. I know, right? Just depending on like how much of my extensive legal retro video gaming library I want to rip. That may take up a lot of space if I get into like my N64 cartridges and whole 800 megabyte PlayStation CD ROMs, dude. I haven't done anything with this control scheme. This is like the default control scheme for this, and this feels like I'm playing it on a PS1. Like, I feel like I'm playing Spyro on a PS1. With far better graphics, of course. Ow, dude, that guy just kicked my ass. This is not a game that I would sit down and play on my PC. Oh, that actually brings up another great talking point there, Proxy Log. So actually, let's pull up the frame rate real quick. Let's get that performance overlay going. So right now, if you see up there in the top right, it's kind of blurry, I know. We're sitting at a solid 60 FPS on this thing right now. If you really want to get into like some ambitious performance overlays, that tell you like how much each CPU is stressing, what each one's megahertz is at the moment, the temperature of the CPU and GPU, remaining time on the battery. I don't even have FSR on. We can get all advanced with this if we want to. And yeah, you can set frame rate limits. So I think that Valve actually just released an update that I have not downloaded yet that allows you to limit your frame rate to 40 FPS, which, at least according to people in the know online, they say that 40 FPS is kind of the sweet spot of, maintaining, playing for as long as possible, keeping your battery from getting sucked dry too quickly, and also just not driving yourself crazy with a stuttery gameplay. But yeah, I'm sitting at 60 right now, and it shows. And also, so this is cool. You see, it says GameScope right there at the end of my thumb. So GameScope is a window manager that is exclusively given just to the video game. And that sounds super basic, but that allows you to do so many cool things with the Steam Deck. Like AMD has this technology called FSR, and basically it allows you to, like, for very, very, very cheaply, as far as CPU cycles go, render the game at a lower resolution and then upscale it algorithmically to this native resolution, which gives you basically the same picture, the same gameplay, the same quality as if you were rendering it natively, but for far less CPU cycles. So better battery life, more performance, and you can do that just because of this GameScope thing. Like, it renders no other windows. It's like the game itself is inside of this just a screen bottle, basically. You can install OBS. It's in the Discover store, actually, so it's a one-click installation. You can install Discord. You can install a Discord overlay, so you can, like, overlay, like, the profile pictures of your friends in Discord on top of your gameplay, so you can, you know, subject them to this obnoxious fan noise in Discord calls. No way, you can install Roblox? I thought that was pretty tough to get going on Linux. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm behind the times. I've never looked into Roblox. It's just a yeah. Not that you did it, Sparklebon. Like, yeah, fuck, I couldn't imagine Roblox. I've never tried it. Woo! I've just tried some casual Spyro. Woo! I will say, let's go ahead and let's pull Steam back up again. Actually, let's also get rid of that performance profile. I'm still at 90% battery life, and I've been streaming for 45 minutes. Granted, a lot of that, the Steam Deck was off. That's fair. That's fair. Let's go back to our library real quick. Actually, while I'm doing this, check this out. So we're mid-game, right? Hit the power button. And it's off. It happens so quickly. And it's like, okay, well, I'm done with that conversation. Ready to get back to gameplay. I'm ready to turn this back on. Power button, 1 Mississippi. Not even a second. Just, you are back in the game just by hitting the button in under a second. Like, that quick suspend, that's one of the killer features of SteamOS, I think. Is that, like, you can't suspend Windows that fast. And restore it like that fast. That's awesome. That's like what was it from Halt and Catch Fire from the old days of computing. There was this certain test that basically the user would completely check out on your application if you didn't show feedback to what they were doing within 400 milliseconds, just under half a second. And this passes that test. Like, it's so fast. Like, that's satisfyingly fast. And that's just one of the great strengths of having this kind of form factor, is that you can just, you're set it down, respond to a text, answer the phone, whatever you want to do, and then when you're ready to play, baby, you're playing. You're right back in it. Like, that is so freaking cool. It doesn't even pause the game. It just freezes it. Maybe freeze isn't the correct term, but you know what I mean. Anyway, that's pretty dope. I really like the quick suspend, and I feel like I'm going to really appreciate that the more that I play around with this thing. I'm so excited for this thing. I still... What? Sparkle, what does this button even do up here? Up in the top left. It looks like some windows, maybe? Does that only work on desktop mode? Like, I don't know what's going on there. So you could just exit the game like you would normally. Quit game. Or you can just, like, go back to like the main menu and quit the game just like that. Or you can just go back to Steam and quit that way. Oh my, I'm so dumb. It's just like, it's the select button. Oh, that's fascinating, dude. Sparkle says the buttons in the back, after a while, you just get used to them, and you just never use A, B, X, and Y. That's crazy, man. That'd be awesome because, like, especially if you play like twin stick video games, and I feel like I'm gonna play a lot of them. It's you gotta basically just give up on the joystick to push these buttons. So just having these 4 buttons in the back to replace them, that is interesting, dude. Especially, oh my gosh, for like Rocket League. No, no, no. This is not a Rocket League machine. But still, that's pretty cool, man. Aperture Desk Job was nice. As you can see, I put 31 minutes into it today, and I already beat it. And basically, all it does is it introduces you to the various input devices, input methods on the Steam Deck. It goes through the touchpads, the joysticks, D-pad, A, B, X, Y, the gyroscope. This is really cool. Like, I don't know if I'd use the gyroscope in game, but basically there are capacitors in these joysticks. So the system knows when your thumb is on top of the joystick. And in Aperture Desk Job, they make use of that, where if your thumb is on the right joystick, that activates the gyroscope. So you can aim just by moving your device left, right, up, and down on the 6 axes. And then if you take it off, if you're back to the A, B, X, Y buttons, no gyroscope. It's just so smooth. It's seamless. Like, I'm not the type of guy who's quite so patient that I would like manually configure control schemes for each one of my games and really just dial it down and put a lot of thought into what would be the perfect control scheme for this particular game versus that one. But if that was just like a default option on some games, like, I think I'm probably going to use it. Especially for, like, I don't know, imagine like a sniper rifle in a first-person shooter, something that requires more precision than just a right joystick and you're stationary. Like, I think that would be a great use for it. Something that's going to drive me crazy with this thing, and this is not a Steam Deck criticism, it's more just controllers, is that, like, I play a lot of first-person games, namely Minecraft, and, like, I get frustrated with how imprecise it feels to do the twin stick thing, as opposed to, like, aiming with a mouse. So I might try to use the right touchpad as, like, my mouse in games like that. And it's, like I said earlier in the stream, it seems less comfortable. Like, it's almost like you have to shift your entire grip down a little bit to use the touchpad comfortably. Otherwise, man, like I said, this is going to cause, like, a repetitive strain injury if I use it like this too much. Like, that's just really hard on my old man thumbs. Maybe I'll get used to it. I'm sure I'll find a way. I don't know. Hey, but Sparkle says it takes a while getting used to it, but it's possible. Quantagon says a better combination, a controller plus Steam Deck as a monitor, small TV gaming. Oh my gosh. Actually, you know what's funny? I was kind of using this thing as a kickstand. Just using this as a second screen, because this is kind of underrated feature as well. When you dock this thing, when you hook it up to a USB-C dock and hook that up to a TV, then this is like a second screen. It's a whole different screen. So you can have like your friends list on here, or you can have Discord on this tiny screen here while you're doing your gaming on the TV. It's a true multi-monitor setup, which I think is pretty dang cool. Or like you can have like your RPGs, your Skyrim world map on this screen right here while you're playing the game on the TV. Like, that is such... There are so many possibilities just by having a tiny second screen. It's almost like Nintendo was onto something with the Wii U and they just bungled it somehow. I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. But that requires, you to have a nice little kickstand like that, because unlike the Switch, there is no kickstand on the back. It's just, 4 buttons and a very hot vent. Okay, that's actually the air intake, so that's not too hot. I think if it gets hot at all, it's going to be, just like right in there. That's where the cooking happens. And now I can use it as a stream deck. I thought that keyboard was going to be cooler, and that keyboard's actually pretty lame. I wonder if I can update that right now. Oh, I got, look at this. Here's the updates right here. Today at 7:22 p.m. Lock screen now includes battery status, network status, and time. Added an option to show battery percentage in the header. Ooh. Reclaim Steam Deck rewards that they're accidentally redeemed to another account. Whoops. Fun to reset application performance profile to default. Reduce login time. For users with thousands of screenshots. That might actually be me. My Steam account goes back a ways. That's pretty cool, man. And yeah, I did join the beta. I want the latest and greatest, baby. I'm a freaking feature hype beast. Put me on the bleeding edge. I'm ready. Yeah, let's switch that keyboard theme. Night shift is kind of lame. I'm going back to the default. By the way, for those of you who had Steam back in 2004, where are you at, fellow old people? They do have a Steam green theme. So let's go ahead and pull that up. There you go. You guys recognize that? That's what Steam used to look like back in the day, man. That's before I used Steam. That's like Counter-Strike 1.6 days. The touchscreen is pretty nice. It's nice to have. Every time like the controller feels kind of kludgy to me, I'm just like, but it's just right there. And you're good, baby. It just works. That's what you like to see. Something that did not just work is Star Wars Battlefront II. This is the 2005, the classic version of it, the good version. It just doesn't have a predefined controller profile, so like it wasn't really sure if it was dealing with a mouse or a controller, and it just really didn't work that well for me. This is one of those that would require some like manual massaging. This is why Valve has that Steam Deck verified label. Just because, like, it's not just a matter of compatibility. Like, does this run on Steam OS? It's also like, does this make sense in handheld form? And Pandemic Studios back in 2004, 2005, they were not envisioning a device like this in 2022 trying to play their game. And it's just not set up that way. It is able to be set up that way. It's just that no one's taken the time to do it yet. That guy may be me because I've been playing a lot of Battlefront 1 and 2 here lately. We'll see. We'll see. No promises, but that did not work out too well. Let's pull up some Wolfenstein. Recommended template. Yep. Gamepad with joystick trackpad. Okay. Because, yeah, this basically treats the trackpad like a joystick as opposed to treating it like a mouse pad. That's basically all that means. Something that came up is the Steam Deck is going to make you keenly aware of which of your video games use Steam Cloud to back up saves and which only save them locally. Like, I've been playing Wolfenstein on my PC. I was really excited to play Wolfenstein on my Steam Deck on the go, the exact same save that I'm playing on my beefy desktop PC. And Wolfenstein The New Order does not have cloud saves. So basically, I just had to start all over today, which kind of sucks. I know that there is software like SyncThing on Linux/SteamOS that allows you to seamlessly sync files between two computers. And I'm kind of wondering if I could set that up on an individual basis for game saves. That'd be pretty exciting. But I haven't even begun to play around with that yet. I got to keep you guys posted on that because that'd be a pretty cool little hack. So Ridermine, this is the US 256 gigabyte version. It's the Goldilocks version, you know? It's just not too little storage, not too much storage, just right. Actually, it's not just right. I'm definitely gonna get one of those fancy schmancy 1 terabyte SD cards if I can find one of those Sparkle Bombs deals. Rubbing my hands together, just like, I can't wait for that deal to drop. Spend a little money on it. Anyways, I was playing a little Wolfenstein. Yeah. Let's get this baby launched. I think I kind of just ran through all the details on this. You know, got the volume buttons feel pretty satisfying. Basically, the only buttons that don't feel satisfying are the Steam button and the ellipses button, the triple dots. Those are not great. They just don't really feel like you're pushing them at all. You basically just see feedback on the screen that yes, this opened, and that's it. That's really the only hardware complaint that I really have about this thing so far. The speakers? Turn this up real quick, dude. Just my mic might be cutting that out, but like the speakers do not deserve to sound this good. Like they put out a nice EQ curve. There's bass in there. There's treble in there. It kind of hits you a little bit, which it's definitely better than a your average smartphone speaker. That's for damn sure. So I'm actually pretty impressed. That's been brutal, Ryder Mine. Says the next Steam Deck batch till October 2022 or later. Dude, I ordered this 90 minutes after orders opened up. Like, it was the first 90 minutes that this thing was on sale, and it still took me 2 months to get this thing. And this is the fast queue. That's 256. Like, the storage is just... Oh, no, I'm not moving the mic this time. This semiconductor shortage is just killing everything. Basically just supply line shortages just around the world. I remember reading articles back at the beginning of the pandemic where they said that would be a thing and that there would be like a delay as things just slowed down and stockpiles were used up to keep things normal as long as possible. And yeah, we're just living in the shit at the moment, man. I had a single night. I had a single night with the Valve Index, and it was a lot of fun. Between the two, like, I would take a Steam Deck over an Index. Here's my thing with VR is that I'm just so afraid that I would see it as a novelty, and I would have like a wild 3 days with VR, just this absolute honeymoon period where it's all I want to do. I want to get fit so I can get better at my VR games and play like, was it like VR Beats or whatever? Beat Saber, that game, because I'm a drummer, that seems like it'd be fun. And then I would think I'd hit that fourth day and be like Andy in Toy Story, like, I don't want to play with you anymore. Then the slow motion drop and I never pick up the knuckles ever again. That's how I feel like I would be with VR. So I'm fascinated by it. I had a lot of fun with it with what little time I had with Thor the Vikings Valve Index. I just don't know if I could do it, man. I hope they make a new Steam controller too, because like this feels like such a fully realized piece of hardware. Like, forget the software even for a second. I feel like the software is the most interesting part of this machine, at least for me. But like, this is a solid device. Like, so much ergonomic work went into this thing. It is perfectly balanced in the hands. It's heavy, but it's not like, I don't feel like I'm lifting weights. Like, that heavy weight is just so evenly distributed, and you got these fat grips on the end to really make sure that that's distributed throughout your hand and your wrist. Like, this, ergonomics-wise, this is just a satisfying device to hold. And like I said earlier in the stream, like, compared to the Steam Deck, the earlier iteration, I would say, of Valve's hardware efforts, like, this feels really nice in the hands. It contours to my hands, like, very well, but it feels cheap. Like, it just feels like it's barely holding together. When I click a button on this thing, it just echoes. It just echoes, man. What's up, Tommy? Steam Deck alert. Woo, woo. That's where we're at. It arrived at about 10:30 this morning, and I hurried home from work as fast as I could. Of course, the one day I'm working from the office and not from home is when this thing gets delivered. But Zeta had my back. She picked it up immediately, made sure that it was actually in the box. Big hype, man. I don't, put Windows on it yet. You and Random Swee, man, hassling me about putting Windows on this thing. I just don't see a need. And granted, like, I don't play Windows games on my PC either, so like I already know what I'm getting out of SteamOS. I'm happy with it, man. Yeah, Tommy, dude, I was saying that like this took me back to when I was 8. Christmas morning. Didn't even realize I had this memory of me opening up the box, just the corner. I saw Game Boy Pocket underneath the wrapping paper, and I just like lost my shit. I was that kid getting a Nintendo 64 in the meme video, basically, with my Game Boy Pocket, just because like I knew I could take video games wherever I went from here on out. And I don't think that like any other system has given me that feeling, not even the Switch, in a way that this does. Because like even at the time that I got the Switch, I knew I was limited to games that released on the Nintendo Switch, which great games, Nintendo's first party games, unparalleled. They're crazy fun. They just 20, they have longevity 20 years after the fact. They're still amazing. But I was still limited to publishers that released on the Switch, where this is just like everything. This is PC gaming going back to the 80s. Dude, my friends who I went to school with way back in the day will appreciate this. Someone already posted a picture of them running Odell Down Under on the Steam Deck. It works on the Steam Deck. Not only does it work, someone else out there in the universe liked Odell Down Under enough that they would like give it a try, and it works. So I could definitely install some of our old school grade school computer lab games on this thing. That's so exciting, man. Like, this is... I hate to sound like a hype beast, you know? I hate to sound like a hype beast, but there's this just gives me a feeling that I have not had about gaming in such a long time. Like, I think that part of why I've been so burnt out on video games for the past like 3 years is that I feel like I'm just tethered to my desk. I'm just at my desk. I am away from Zeta. I am away from the rest of the world. I am just here. But I could take this everywhere, man. I could take this everywhere. And 30 years of PC games, 30 years of Game Boy games, of PlayStation games, of Nintendo 64 games, of GameCube, of Wii games, you want to get stupid with it, that I legally own from my extensive retro gaming library. It's all in here. That's so freaking cool, man. That is so freaking cool. Oh, yeah, man. Just like one of those 30-minute poops. You know, it's just like, I'm not leaving here until I get that red Gyarados. That's what it's about. This is too beautiful a device for me to take into the bathroom, man. I'm not sure if I could do that. But still. Now I can head to the couch. You laugh, Rider of Mine, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. I played through the entirety of Aperture Desk Job, which, by the way, fantastic introduction to the Steam Deck. If you have pre-ordered a Steam Deck and you're getting one, play that game. It teaches you all the controls on this, like I said. And also, Zeta just watched the entire thing over my shoulder on the couch. She was laughing at all the witty J.K. Simmons, a.k.a. Cave Johnson dialogue that goes on in that game. The writing is fantastic. It's only 30 minutes. It's worth your time. It's an episode of SpongeBob plus commercials. I mean, come on! I loved it. I loved it. I'm wondering about how much the dock is going to cost too, but since my girlfriend already had a USB-C dock just laying around that she was not using, I don't think I'm going to get the dock. Like, I have... Oh, why am I holding it up? I have two cameras going. I have this, and I have the USB-C connection that holds like my Ethernet, my HDMI connection to the TV, actual USB ports as opposed to USB-C. So I think that I'm not going to get the dock, even though like it looks really, really nice. But I too am curious how much it's going to cost. Like, clearly they subsidize the cost of the Steam Deck. Will they also make the dock pretty inexpensive as well? Or also because of like supply chain issues? Maybe they would, bump the price up a little bit and be like, hey, listen, like, You all don't need this. You can just use a generic USB-C dock because it's literally just Linux underneath and it has drivers for everything. Like, Rider Mind, dude, I had some TV gameplay today and it was awesome. Like, it detected this controller just right off the bat, my Steam controller. I haven't tried with my Xbox controller. It's a standard Bluetooth connection. It works on my PC. I fully expect it to work with Steam Deck. And just like, it's awesome, dude. Just like sitting back, playing on the big screen, and then just standing up and being like, well, I want to play on my handheld now. Yeah! It's awesome. Here, let me just move this off to the side and actually show you some Wolfenstein gameplay, because this is really pretty. Oh yeah, just get that nice dual Shasta view with that reflection. Consult the journal. So I may do like a capture card setup, but we'll see how this works out. Oh baby, we're getting in the turret. Woo! It's so loud. This microphone that I'm using is very directional, so I'm sure you can't tell how loud it is. But this is a freaking handheld, man. This is a AAA game from 2015. This thing plays Elden Ring. No, I'm not shouting. This is just how I talk. Woo! Oh yeah, that plane's screwed. That plane's screwed too. I'm shooting my allies, man. Woo! Dude, there's a reason why the Shure SM58's been the standard for like 50, 60 years. There you go. So damn bassy. Woo! Oh man, so this is just a Shure SM57. This microphone plus this windscreen, fun fact, has been used by every single United States president going back to Eisenhower in the late 50s. Like, this is just, this is the standard media microphone. And its close cousin, the SM58, is the standard vocal microphone that you see on basically like any music stage. And yeah, you can actually see down beneath my stream in my About Me section of my Twitch page, I have a full hardware breakdown of like what I stream with. So this is leading into a Focusrite 2i2, which also helps give me a pretty good sound, a professional sound. And I'll tell you, man, I went back and I listened to like 2 minutes of that hotel stream. Ah! I'm really spoiled with this thing. Like, holy cow. Ridermine, you can actually connect wirelessly to a Steam Link. Dude, my Steam Link detected this out of the box. Steam Link, Steam on my PC, and the Steam Deck, they're all just like started talking to each other like almost immediately. It's really impressive. Yeah, dude, bruh, that was my reaction too. Like, I recorded a little bit of my like unboxing reaction just on video because I'm a goober, because I'm excited. And like I was shocked to see it. Like, oh, you have 2 of them. I've got one underneath my TV, like here in my game room in my office. And I know you don't really need them anymore because we all have phones and we all have Raspberry Pis and basically the hardware became obsolete. But like, that's such cool technology. Like they still update it, by the way. Like my Steam Link still gets updates every so often. That's pretty impressive support. But anyway, I'm just gonna see if I can get past this opening and get into some actual FPS action. Oh, look at the touch screen. I wonder. No gyro gaming. No gyro activated for this. Oh yeah, that's a pre-scripted plane. I think that we're gonna, yep, just slam in the face. The New Order is one of my favorite video games of all time, by the way. Oh, you're getting a nice look at my like chewed up thumbs there. Not actual gameplay. In my bio, it says Kubuntu. That is what I'm running on my PC. That looks so bad on the camera. I need a proper capture card of this. But yeah, I guess technically today's stream is on SteamOS. All the rest are on Kubuntu. Good old Mastodon, man. Nice. Let me see. X button to pick that up. I'll pull that handle. I know how to press X. The joysticks feel so good, too. Like, actually, let me pause this so I can think. It's pretty loud on my end. I know you guys can't hear it. So yes, you can expand the storage with micro SD cards. You can use multiple micro SD cards. Like, you can just pop this one out and pop in another one if you want to spread your games across multiple cards. You totally do it. So that's pretty neat. It's got, like, that nice slot right there. It just, you know, pops in, and then you just press it to pop it back out. That's my understanding. So yeah, you can get that basic, and every single model, by the way, has a micro SD card slot. So you can get the basic 64 gigabyte model and just load that bad boy up with a terabyte or two. And baby, you got a stew going. But yeah, the travel on the joysticks, like, these feel really good. Something that drove me nuts about the Joy-Cons, necessary evil I know, is that they're just smaller joysticks. They don't have much travel. And travel is what allows a joystick to have, like, subtlety, to have precision. And so just having that full joystick travel is just really satisfying. Valve also sells replacement joysticks, and these joysticks actually have their own daughter board. And what that means is you have your motherboard, right? Which is what the main piece of silicon that every chip and every peripheral is sitting on this bad boy. But a daughter board is a separate little piece of silicon that is just for handling, say, in this case, the joystick. And that allows that whole board and joystick to be removed and replaced. Super easy. So if something goes wrong with that joystick, you're not screwed because it's hardwired into the motherboard. That's just really nice, man. That's just really nice. Let me see. And yeah, I already talked about how the tops are capacitive. They feel it's harder plastic than like a Xbox controller, which is what I'm typically used to. But it feels good. Like, that's okay with me. Of course you would put NixOS on it. Of course you would. We'll see how itchy I get when it comes to customizing this bad boy. I was already thinking about moving around the KDE setup to more match what I have on my personal desktop. But I think that with, like, different hardware comes a different use case. So I'd have to rethink how I would set up my KDE desktop on this bad boy. And once again, like, suspend. It's just... it blinks out, you push the button, and then you're back in the action, baby, just like that. I can't get over how much faster that is than basically any other suspend and resume I've ever worked with. Oh, I gotta open the door, I guess. Oh my god! What you gonna do? Holy cow. Woo! Oh! This whole video game is like an action movie. I love the over-the-top, overwrought dialogue, combined with just Blazkowicz just being the ultimate badass. Whee! Oh, I didn't run. I forgot to run, boys. How do I run? Oh, I think I have to push L3. Fail. Let's try this one more time. Oh, that's not it. No! This was so much easier with keyboard and mouse because I knew the controls. SteamOS, Tommy says, is also using hardware-specific compiled binaries for the Steam Deck. Yeah, true. Yeah, you would think. I definitely... I'm really not tempted at the moment to put any other OS on it. We'll see how, like, tinkery I get. That might be close enough. Yeah, Fergus, save me! Oh, shit! Every moment of this game is just by the skin of your teeth, bro. Sure. Do or die, son. Hoorah! So yeah, if you want to just exit the game, just push the Steam button, and you're right there, and you're back to the UI. Ooh, Wolfenstein is actually verified. Does that match my experience? Yes, it does. These surveys, they ask you, would you like to take them or not? And I'm usually not a survey person, but I want to give them a little feedback here. So hey, that's something. Allow me to hydrate real quick. I see what you're saying, Tommy. NixOS Unstable has a GUI installer now, so casuals like me might even have a chance. Bro, you know it. Wireless water? I like that. It's all wireless, baby. Staying hydrated. You guys just keep sweating it out, man. I still haven't recovered from my run. I need to just like stand in front of the AC for a little bit. It's not even that hot here. It's just like, that's how I am. Mid-May rolls around and I'm just a mess. Whew. Anyway, I think that concludes like my Steam Deck presentation here. But is there anything that you guys would like to see? Any questions that you have about the Steam Deck itself, hardware or software? While I'm here, because I'd be happy to answer some questions because I've read up about this thing a little bit. I'm just very excited to dig further into it, like dig into the details, the nitty gritty, see what all this has to offer. Just gonna apply the software update while I'm going. I gotta say, you know, what the rest of my night looks like, I'm probably just gonna sit on the porch, enjoy the evening, and play more Steam Deck. I'm probably gonna get back into Spyro. Yeah, I figured, Tommy. Like, I'm in the same boat, dude. Like, I've basically, like, any Steam review or Steam Deck review or first impressions on YouTube with more than 3,000 views over the past couple months, I've seen it. I don't know what it is about this thing, man. I think it's just the ultimate creation of the past 10 years of Valve's Linux support, and I feel like this is finally my opportunity to put my money where my mouth is. Like, this is my chance to actually support Linux gaming in a way that's like mainstream accessible. Like, the ultimate goal of the Steam Deck, I think, is really what they said in that Futurama episode, what God said to Bender, where if you do it right, people won't be sure you've done anything at all. And how that works with the Steam Deck is if they do SteamOS right, then people won't even be aware that it's not Windows or whatever. Or they'll be impressed that it is as seamless as it is while knowing that it's not Windows. I think that's the ultimate goal of it. It just, I think back to where I was. I can just picture the moment that I got that email that Steam for Linux was being released in beta, and I was invited to try it out. And I immediately installed it on my laptop, because this is before I had a gaming PC. I wasn't even like a PC gamer at that point, but I was just so excited that a big company was taking a chance on an alternative OS. And running Team Fortress 2 for the first time was just like, wow, like it didn't feel like we made it. It felt like a step forward, and in retrospect, it was the first real step towards what I have here in front of me tonight. And it seems like every step that Valve took in the hardware and software realm over the past 10 years as well has kind of led up to this moment too. You know, they have just convenient inter-device streaming, whether that's inside your house in the Steam Deck or Steam Link or over the internet. All the ergonomics work that went into the Steam controller, all the touchpad work, all the controller configuration screens that went into it. All their work on Steam OS, what they learned from the failure of licensing out Steam machines rather than manufacturing their own. Like, they did... It created this. Like, that's crazy to me. Right, and I would put failures in double quotes like you did, Tommy, because, like, I can't think of really any... Really, the only failure that I could think of along the way was the Steam machines. Like, everything else I would say was a success. And they keep supporting the things that they don't manufacture, even to this day, which is crazy to me. Like, maybe the Steam controller could be seen as a failure, but my understanding is they stopped manufacturing it because a company sued them for having haptic motors like inside this thing. And it's so cool that even though, like, you know, games like Rocket League got bought up by another company and dropped Linux support and left like paying customers high and dry, and they weren't the only ones to do that. Valve still supported it when, you know, it had to be a money sink at some point. And it's probably still a money sink on the hardware level if they're selling these at a loss. But like, just their push for a more open PC platform is exciting for me, because no other company is really expressly doing that at the level that Valve is at. And it's not about like Linux dominance or whatever, or like the downfall of Windows. It's just nice PC gaming. My old mantra is that PC gaming is all about choice. You can build your PC exactly as elaborate or as bare bones as you want it to. You have choice between at least two companies at almost every step of the way, except for the operating system level at a feasible level. Until now, it's just like gaming is slowly becoming one more just conquered territory where it's like you actually do have a choice nowadays, and that is exciting to me. I'm curious about that too, Power Player. Like, what would a Steam Deck 2 look like? Like, this is powerful enough that this is going to support, you know, modern games for a while, I would say. At least for a couple years. But I'm also curious, like, how hardware iterations look in standard PC building over the next few years, because with the semiconductor shortage, you can only make so many new graphics cards, so many new CPUs. So I think that this is just a great time, as terrible as it is, to drop a piece of hardware like this, in that I feel like that whole cycle is slowing down a little bit. So I think that that's not something they're going to have to worry about for a while. I think that what they will do is they will follow the popular trend that Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo have all done, and release an upgraded SKU of basically the same model. So like a Steam Deck Pro, maybe they'll put a terabyte in it, maybe it'll be a little more powerful or have a bigger, beefier battery for the, you know, bodybuilders among us. But like, this is awesome. This on a hardware level, this is all that I need, and I'm very excited to see the software develop on it as well. And considering that Valve is still releasing updates for the Steam controller and Steam Link, both of which they no longer manufacture. I feel like that this is going to have a long update life cycle. I hope not, Power Player. I hope not. Like, I think that cloud gaming is okay as a niche. Like, it allows people who don't have expensive hardware to play these games. But, like, subscriptions are death by 1,000 cuts, and you don't actually own the games. And this irks me, and it doesn't irk a lot of people. I'm just wired a little differently that way, maybe. That, like, it just takes power from the consumer and just gives all the power back to the companies. And, like, corporations have so much power right now over, like, actual just consumer rights and ability to, like, modify and fix and repair your own devices that you actually own. Like, ugh. Cloud gaming just seems like the worst example of that. Just the flavor of the week, I suppose. Alpine, you missed it! You missed it! I am kind of... This is like my wrap-up speech, man. I just did like a comprehensive hardware and software walkthrough of my brand spanking new Steam Deck. Yeah, I showed off, you know, my old Valve hardware while I was at it, too. But I think that this actually could be a decent one to go back and watch. Like, I'm going to post this on my YouTube and actually, like, people might actually watch it. And Ridermind, that's a great point too, man. Like, that goes back to, like, my repair your own device kind of spiel there, where, like, e-waste is a huge problem, as I understand it. And, like, I've taken that to heart in a lot of, like, how I approach my life. That's why it's so hard for me to just, you know, throw out an old chair that looks fucking terrible for something new, because, like, I can still sit in it. It still holds my butt. And I'm the same way with my electronics too. Like, I can't just throw them out in the trash because e-waste is ugh. That's the way to be, Tommy. Still driving a 7-year-old laptop. I guess mine just turned 5. So I'm just following in your footsteps, man. I hope I get the next 2 years out of that laptop, even though I'll be using it a lot less because Steam Deck, baby. Let me see if I haven't missed anything else. Time to do nothing but Steam Deck gameplay for the next 3 years. I mean, maybe. Maybe. Let me see. What's up, Zeta? So Alpine, the 2-second good, the ugly. I'm very impressed with the hardware. The ergonomics are great. Like, people had some questions about these buttons being here, and I think that is the natural place for them. Like, my hand is totally relaxed doing that. And no matter how big or small your hands are, your middle finger is going to catch right in this slot right here, which gives you just that perfect amount of support. And it just guides your hands to these spots. So that's pretty dope. It's not as nice to hold with your middle finger on R2 and L2. Just because, you know, all you have are your ring and pinky fingers just holding the whole thing together back here if you hold it like that. And that's less comfortable. I think that the touchpads are not very nice to use. If you look at the angle on my thumb right there, that's pretty ugly. That's going to repetitive motion strain for real. That's my complaint there. The speakers are awesome. Way better than, like, phone speakers. A surprising amount of bass and high end out of them as far as I can tell. These 2 buttons are trash, but you don't use them too often, so that's okay. Joysticks have a lot of travel. I like the capacitive touchpads on the joysticks themselves, so the Steam Deck knows when you're on the joysticks, actually. Software-wise, I tested it so far on Wolfenstein The New Order, Spyro Reignited Trilogy, Aperture Desk Job, and Star Wars Battlefront II. It works great on games that have been pre-configured for the Steam Deck. So Spyro works awesome. Wolfenstein, beautiful. Like, I just picked it up and played it. Star Wars Battlefront II, the 2005 version, does not have a controller config yet, and I can't really play it because it doesn't know how to handle this. But looking forward to playing Cuphead and Super Meat Boy on this. I feel like the killer app of this thing is that it is your entire Steam backlog wherever you want to go. And I think that the killer use for this thing is using it around your house. Sitting on the couch next to your girlfriend or wife while they're watching TV or browsing their phone. They can like look over and see what you're playing. You're actually like out with other people with this thing, which is so powerful. As someone who spends so much time at his desk, I can't wait to get away from this desk sometimes. Like, I work at this desk, I play at this desk. I just want to take this out into the backyard and sip on a martini and watch the sunset. Like, the travel of this thing just on your own property is brilliant. I love that. I think that there's such a market for this thing, and it's just tragic that we have the supply chain issues that we have right now, that they can't have a wide scale release on it. As far as the battery, I've been streaming with the battery, like with the screen on and playing games for the past hour probably. I think the first 30 minutes were basically with the screen off and just walking over the hardware. But I am currently at 75%. My projected idle battery life right now is 5.5 hours on that 75%. When I was running Wolfenstein The New Order, which is a pretty graphically intensive game, yeah, it gave me like maybe like 2.5 hours of battery life, which sounds like not much, but the amount of time that I think that I spend on mobile gaming, that's more than enough for me. I think so. I'll let you know in the future as I play this more, get it out in more situations, how the battery holds up, because I'm curious, but I'm not looking to play all day on the Steam Deck. You know, this is a pick up and play device, and I think that that's why maybe another one of its killer features is just the standby mode. Because, like, it takes maybe a second to shut down like that when you're in the middle of a game. You just push that power button, and you are immediately back in the game in under a second. Like, I tried to count it out, and I couldn't, because it just happened so fast. So I think that quick suspend is what's beautiful about it. I think that pick up and play style, like this incremental kind of like attention deficit style that we all have nowadays, this is the device for that kind of thing, because yeah, the battery's not going to last all day, but like my attention span is not going to last all day either. So I'm hoping that it lines up with the battery lines up with my expectations for a device like this. I got to let you know sometime in the future. I'm optimistic, but I think that I'm just perpetually optimistic. That is just kind of that's my style that I try to ride on right there. I got more software updates. Didn't those bad boys look what? Oh yeah. I got to restart to apply them. Let's see what that looks like. I'll take a sip real quick. Anyway, I think that was compiling my thoughts from the past hour and a half into like a tiny little a little like 5-minute spiel. I hope that makes sense. Oh, I need to do that. I'll stretch. Oh no. Woo. Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep you guys posted on my further thoughts on this thing, because I feel like I'm going to be playing it a lot. Hopefully not at the detriment of my streaming time, because I'm still really excited to work on that Wolf brand. The obvious question, which I don't think I've even addressed in the past 90 minutes that I've been streaming, have I installed Java Minecraft on this machine yet? No, I haven't. So PolyMC is a Minecraft launcher that is in the Discover Store on the Steam Deck right now. Haven't installed it yet. I might just go crazy trying to play that on this touchpad with my thumb at a right angle. But I'm going to try it. Of course I am. But I haven't tried it yet. Now keep in mind, Ridermine, that number's kind of misleading, because that's only Steam Deck verified. So I would go to protondb.net. That's a website that allows you to see which of your games in your library are compatible with the Proton compatibility layer that's running on this thing. And that'll give you a far more accurate estimate of what percentage of your Steam library is actually going to run on this thing. And again, that's just operating system compatibility. That it has nothing with how the game handles a controller, or if there's small text on this on this smaller screen. So keep that in mind. But yeah, protondb.net. That's a pretty good website to check out your compatibility with SteamOS, if not Steam Deck. What's the first game that I'm going to dive into on it? I think it's going to be Spyro. Something else I mentioned is that the Steam Deck also highlights how much of your Steam library relies on Steam Cloud saves, like cloud saves, and which don't. I was very excited to jump into Wolfenstein The New Order on my Steam Deck, but it doesn't actually support cloud saves. Later Wolfenstein games do. This one does not. So all the progress I made on my PC, I can't just like pick up and play on the Steam Deck. So that's a little disappointing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through a little Spyro. I'll see how deep I get into that. Spyro was a little simple for me when I was like sitting down at my PC desk. I was just like, I feel like I'm just kind of clicking around. I might as well just play Minesweeper. But playing it on a controller and playing it on a mobile device just changes my whole mental approach to gaming. It's just like, yeah, this is a thing I could spend a few minutes on and just put it down. Sitting down at the desk just feels so final. Like I have to spend X amount of time at the desk, otherwise I'm just wasting my time. Where with something in the form factor of a Steam Deck, I can just pick it up, put it down. There's no pretension with this device. Like I can just spend 5 seconds on it and just like pull up the game, make a little progress, and then set it down and go make dinner. That's so cool, man. That's just so cool. I'm fascinated by how excited I am to game on this thing. And I haven't been excited about most video games in a very long time. I've pretty much exclusively played Minecraft for the past like 2 years. But now I just have this huge, stupid, huge backlog of games that I hope to play and I just felt obligated to play them. And now I don't, with this device, at least so far, I hope it stays that way. I don't feel that obligation. I feel just a want. Just like, I feel like that 8-year-old kid who unwrapped his Game Boy Pocket on Christmas. And it just felt like I could take my games on the go forever. Or at least as long as the 2 AAA batteries would last. But it's the same feeling I get with this device, and I have not gotten that feeling from a new purchase or a gift. Sorry, family. No. In a very long time. It just feels nice to be just so genuinely excited to game. To just be excited about a device like this. It's a very real excitement, and I'm not overselling it. Like, this is what you're hearing, what you've seen over this past hour and a half is really what you're getting from me. Like, that's the whole deal. And it is so lame that some of these games don't have cloud save. Like I said, there's software on Linux that allows you to easily sync files between multiple computers. Sync Thing, namely, comes to mind. Thank you, Micah Ilberry, for introducing me to that piece of software. And I'm sure that I can set up like individual Sync Thing folders to sync my Wolfenstein save files, for example, from my PC to the Steam Deck. We'll see how tedious that is. I'll have to let you know. So there are workarounds, but I just wish that it was a little more seamless. What can I say? All right, any further questions that you guys can think of? Because I think I'm just about talked out on this thing, at least as far as like unique ideas coming from my own brain. But if you got anything further, then I would happily answer. Because as you guys know, I might love to ramble more than I love to even play video games. But you good? I'm good. The old poop cowboy's riding again. Because, that's right, Among Us also runs on this bad boy. I don't think I'm going to run Among Us on it anytime soon. But yeah, I'm good. Also, I guess another thought is, yeah, would highly recommend getting some kind of like USB-C dongle that allows you to connect a keyboard and mouse, or just like a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse for interacting with it in this desktop mode. Because like the touchpads, the virtual keyboard, which you could pull up by holding down Steam and pressing X, it's just it could be more pleasant. Let's say it's much easier with just like an actual keyboard, an actual mouse. But yeah, very excited about this aspect of it as well. Like, how much can I actually do on this thing? That's really exciting. As far as like non-gaming, like this could potentially just like replace my laptop on the road. I just bring this and a keyboard and I'm Gucci, baby. I mean, my laptop's mouse also works as a Bluetooth mouse, so I can just like drive it around on here. That's exciting. There's so much that's exciting about this thing. Like, I'm probably just gonna be fiddling with this for the rest of the night. And so on that note, I guess I'm probably just gonna wrap it up here. Unless there's no further questions. But I'm excited, clearly. And I'll keep you guys posted. I got an official Shasta 1 Discord if you want to keep up with the lovely community that I got on this channel. Thank you, Sparkle. I plan to enjoy it. I hope you're still enjoying yours. And yeah, I'll definitely ping you for the follow-up review, because I'm gonna go into a lot more detail with this thing. I feel like it does in fact play various Katamari Damacy games from my extensive and entirely legal physical retro video game library. And maybe somewhere on PC. But, yeah. Have a fantastic night, y'all. Thanks for hanging out tonight. You know, stopping by. This is my first Just Chatting stream. So, take care of yourselves out there. Love one another. Have a little empathy. And I'm the Shasta One. I'll catch you next time. I'm gonna go play my Steam Deck!